Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 75 of The Winds of Warsaw. I'm Alexandra and I'm the storyteller.
Hi, I'm Dolores and I'm playing Janina of Clan Bruja.
Hi, my name is Faye and I'm playing Beatrice of Wozniak of Clan Malkavian.
And as always, Partners is here helping us with tech and taking care of a chat. Thank you, Partners. And thank you all so much for joining us for yet another episode in this story as it is drawing towards its conclusion with our two kindreds both in quite tense and difficult situations at the moment. But we'll get to that. Before that, we will start with a recap of what happened last time. We had a bit longer break than anticipated. That seems to be a curse on our stream, that life just gets in the way and we don't play as often as we'd like. But hopefully, for the final stretch, we will be able to be here as we expect fairly regularly without another unexpected break, fingers crossed. So let's move on to the recap. Last time, Bea, after having spent some time with the Sabbat during their celebrations to welcome Arek, where she reunited with her sire, who didn't recognize her as her child, considering Irmina, who wears Bea's face, to be her daughter now. Bea also met her husband, who has been embraced by Irmina a while ago, who struggled with recalling or recounting, more like, the story of their lives, but managed to tell Bea about their life together and about their son, Shimon, who unfortunately died during the war. Having learned those things, Bea was taken to the mansion of Lady Leokadia by Arek, and a woman whose name she doesn't know, but who seems to be important in the Sabbat. And on the way, Bea overheard that woman warning Arek not to let Bea pollute his heart with weakness. Upon hearing that, Bea felt very strong compulsion that she must do what she can to remove herself from Arek's company, not to make him weak and being a bad influence on him in this way. Not being able to bear being there and thinking of it, she left her body to visit Antoni, her partner, the sheriff of the Camarilla. And she caught the end of his conversation with the Prince of Warsaw, where he underlined that he understood his duty. After he left Prince's office, he and Bea spoke. He wanted to know everything that was going on with Bea, but she was reluctant to share where she was being taken and what was going on, although in the end she revealed that she was being taken to the mansion of Lady Leokadia. She told Antoni that her sire Felicia replaced her, and told him the story of her son, asking him to remember this story for her. And Antoni wrote it all down and promised that he would keep it safe and put it in his pocket, together with other pages from Bea's journal that she entrusted to him before leaving for the Sabbat. Back in her body, Bea was thrown into a dark room in a basement where she was locked with some of the Zimishi creations. She spent there the rest of the night and all of the next night, with visions of pain and despair all around her, visions of bodies and minds being rearranged and transformed, and omens of things unraveling, something ripping through flesh. and a vision of a dragon of bone and crimson, of crimson veins over the whole mansion. Eventually, Bea was taken out from the basement and taken to a room where she met Ivan, the bodyguard, and a companion of Lady Leokadia, who offered her nourishment and asked if she knew if Arek was damaged more deeply in a way that would be difficult to repair. Bea, of course, didn't remember, but wanted to help. So she forced herself to push through to her memories and remembered much more than she possibly wished to remember, recalling how Arek, first of all, betrayed her and caused her previous coterie to die, then was with the Sabbat, was captured during attack on the Camarilla, how she promised Lady Leokadia that she would bring him back, and then promptly proposed to the Camarilla and Clan Tremere that this could be used to Camarilla's advantage, and in fact have been colluding with them for the whole time. Meanwhile, Janina spoke to the primogen of Clan Tremere, who offered her that she could assist them in their actions against the Zimushi, and through doing that, avenged her sire Daniel, who has been killed by Zimovit, the child of Lady Leokadia. Janina agreed without much persuading, very enthusiastically, and was told to be prepared because these actions will be taken soon. She visited Dominic, a Nosferatu, who previously was held by Lady Leokadia, and is bloodbound to her currently, who was with his lover, the former sheriff Lucian Topolsky. Lucian left Dominic with Janina, who spoke with him, introduced his goal to him, and mentioned that there were plans that might help free him. Dominic became very interested in this and a bit nervous, and used presents on Janina to learn more of what was going on. And eventually Janina revealed to him that there were plans against the Zimishi, after which she left, not waiting for Lucian to come back before she left Dominic on his own. She reconnected with Roman, another Nosferatu and Coteries friend, and asked him to take care of her ghoul Hannah if Janina was not to come back from some of the missions she was signing up for. And then she went to feed, where unexpectedly she found she couldn't bring herself to feed from a man who was sitting by the river looking sad. And she shared a moment with him there, talking about his wife who died during the war and a lot of death that has happened in the city and loss. And on her way back, she encountered Zimovit, who very recently killed her sire and whom she fought and managed to beat into torpor, but was stopped from killing by her former lover, Nastia. Zimovit expressed admiration for Janina and said that she was too good for the Camarilla, and invited her to come with him to meet the Sabbat. And Janina, seeing an opportunity to find Bea and help her, agreed and left without much hesitation with Zimovit, following him to wherever he was leading her. And that was where we ended. And we will start with Janina.
Honestly, I forgot I even had a goal.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good. But yeah, now I'm reminded of all my responsibilities and what I did.
And what you did.
Yeah. Mm. Well,
So,
how I was supposed to know there's going to be consequences to my actions.
well, we'll see about that for now, Janina. You are walking with Zimovit across the city. The city, as always, is dark. Most of the buildings lie in ruin. Zimovit is quiet, looking ahead. Are you trying to talk to him on the way?
No, I think I'm preoccupied with thinking what I'm doing, but that there is no turning back. And so I just try to follow him and also look around the surroundings. But I assume we are walking towards the same house that we went once before.
So you walk across the city and you realize that you are not.
Okay.
You're headed north and more to the west of the city rather than south.
Okay. In that case, I'm just trying to memorize everything. So in case I would need to tell someone where I went, then I would have a memory map in my head.
Roll for your wit and survival.
Okay.
Difficulty 6. You know the city, at least the center of it, reasonably well right now.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
6.
Okay, then I have 9 and 8, so 2 successes.
2 successes. Then you remember the way. You're certain you could follow the path that he's taking, and quite quickly you realize that you're likely heading towards the cathedral that is a known Sabbat haven.
Okay.
So it's not a cathedral, it's a church. A church that is a known Sabbat haven. So you walk in silence.
Yes.
You see some people walk past you rushing home. You at some point see some people laughing, clearly drunk, standing on a street corner. And then you step onto the part of the city that has been leveled to the ground during the bombings. And in the distance, you see the dark silhouette of St. Augustine's Church, its spire rising over this field of rubble that used to be buildings. And walk towards it. Zimovit gives you a glance, but then just keeps walking. And eventually you get to the tall, heavy door of the church, which he pushes open. And inside you see, at first, just darkness that looks deep, overwhelming, and crushing. And Zimovit enters into the dark interior.
It would be fun if I just didn't go in. But now I'm going in. I follow him inside of the darkness.
So you follow him, and for a moment you can't see anything. But quickly you hear footsteps, very soft ones, and you see a light approaching, illuminating a silhouette of a woman carrying a lamp. She is coming towards you, and you see her very long red hair tinted with gold by the light. She's wearing a long black skirt, and as she approaches, you see that on her torso she has a drape of black lace that barely covers her body. She smiles at both of you as she approaches, and you see Ziemowit grabs her and kisses her very passionately, pulling her close. And you see that his fingers sharpen and cut into her body as he holds her.
I didn't want to see that.
She is very hot. I'll just note that.
Okay. Yeah, but if she's with him, that's a no.
And then it doesn't last long. She raises her hand and pushes him away a bit. She smiles and says, "That's enough for now. We have a guest to welcome, and it wouldn't be very hospitable of you to neglect that because you can't control yourself, would it?" And she looks to you and
I'm so grossed up. Like,
and gives an even wider smile, looks to Ziemowit and says, "Is this the bruja you've been going on and on about?" And he just nods his head. And she doesn't wait for him to reply at all. Kind of leaves his embrace very gracefully, very quickly, and takes a step towards you and says, "Welcome. I'm Salomea. Come on, let's leave him. You and I should talk."
I try to nod politely and tell her my name and leave with her if she... Well, I probably glance towards Ziemowit, and if I can leave.
Ziemowit looks kind of almost taken aback by everything that happened right here, but he doesn't stop it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I follow the woman.
And she takes you by the arm and leads you deeper into the church. Meanwhile, Bea, you walk into the room, which now you have vague memories of. You think you've been here before. It is a fairly long room in this house. You see some wooden works of folk art displayed there, some made of tendons and skin and bones, some of both combining wood with materials made out of flesh. And you see deeper in the middle of the room, Lady Leokadia in a red dress, working on an abstract, twisted sculpture on pale flesh. You see the sculpture doesn't resemble any human or other form. Is completely abstract shape. There's only skin and shards of bone, which have been stuck into the flesh, sticking out, slightly bleeding the blood, creating patterns on the pale skin. And Lady Leokadia, at first you think she's wearing long opera gloves, but then you realize her hands are actually covered in blood. And as you come in closer, you see that she's doing something in one part of the sculpture, sticking her fingers in. And as she pulls them out, you see that her fingers are long and sharp and pointed, and you're not even quite sure where they end. They just become very, very thin. And she looks to you, leaving the sculpture be, for a moment. What's running through your head? How are you feeling with those memories suddenly in your head?
I believe a concise summary would be internal screaming. I'm terrified. I'm angry with myself. I'm full of self-loathing and just I don't even know if there's like necessarily a properly coherent thought. It's just kind of running almost on instinct at this point. I think that my face is probably, if I'm successfully hiding anything, then it's probably formed into like as neutral an expression, since I usually default to hiding things. But yeah, not doing super good. Has Alex crashed? Well, I guess we'll improv the next bit.
Or maybe she just knows how to freeze time.
Well, we've lost her. I guess it's our stream now.
Yay.
Chaos
Look at Michael.
He is doing a wonderful job. I was admiring him earlier. What a delight. Well, I hope we will get our storyteller back soon.
I'm sure
in the meantime, we'll just ad-lib. Hope for the best. Hi, everyone. As per usual, Lamias streams go super smoothly and have zero technical difficulties.
And I was so happy that I didn't have any in the beginning.
Right? Yeah, clearly you were granted the powers of tech, and that was taken from Alex.
Looks like it. I'm sure she's going to be back.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Or this is going to be a very odd stream.
Yeah, like it's very windy here. So I don't know how it's in Scotland.
Cold it is in Scotland.
Here's cold as well, but also like very windy.
Fair.
Oh, she's back.
I think we are beginning to return. Hello, yes.
Sorry, my computer, like the plug fell out and it just turned itself off. I haven't realized that this happened.
Oh, hi, welcome back. We've been ad-libbing.
Are we live?
We're still live. I can see us still moving in the camera.
Okay, well, sorry everyone. My computer accidentally got unplugged. But I'm back now. Right, so let's continue in this case.
Where did you hear until?
I heard that Bea is terrified.
Cool. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember everything else I said, so let's just go with that.
Okay. So you're approaching.
I'm trying to keep my face as neutral as possible, but yeah.
Yeah. You're approaching, and Lady Leokadia looks at you and gives you a small smile. Beatrice Wozniak, welcome. You returned to us, the young gangrel, whom Ivan wants to bring back with us to the Carpathians. And for that, I thank you.
Just kind of nod quietly. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens.
Tell me, how did it go? Roll your perception and awareness. Difficulty 8.
Does my specialty come in here?
Yes, it does.
Great. Okay. Oh, okay. 5 successes.
Then you realize immediately that the moment she asks the question about how it went, she looks into your head.
Okay. Good. Can I feel what she's looking at, or just that she's there?
At the moment, she's waiting. She's not looking at anything specific. She's waiting to see what you say.
Okay.
She sees your fear.
That's fair. I think I freeze. And there's, I think, just the sort of conflicting memories that I've been having with the lies that I've been telling myself, or that I started to believe and then just kept working off of, sort of crashing into the memories that have just come back to me, and the sort of cognitive dissonance that this causes. And then there's that mixture of like the self-loathing and that wanting to be distant and further away from who I was, is crashing in, and just there's both these memories of like helping Arek, and in that moment having known that, having believed that I was helping him and getting away, and then there's this sort of other memory that's kind of over the top of it that just messes with it. And I'm kind of falling to pieces on the inside, as just everything is crashing apart, and it kind of feels like I'm being torn in two, like there's these two different aspects that are kind of pulling me in different directions. And I think it's just a full fear response at this point.
What are the directions you're being pulled into?
There was that caring for Arek, that sort of protecting him, the wanting to be further away from him to keep him safe. There's the wanting to just ensure that he can succeed in the Sabbat, that he can do well, that I was a cause of weakness, and so I needed to protect him from that. And then there's this anger, there was that anger and that doing what I thought was best for the Camarilla, even as I was sort of starting to become almost disillusioned, sort of like teetering on the edge of disillusionment. And that sort of constant sort of trying to be that person. And it's kind of almost the person that wanted to be close to people, as opposed to who I was trying to make myself be. But then there's also an aspect of that trying to make myself be another person with the Sabbat as well. So it's messy, and maybe 2 isn't even necessarily the right number, but just
different.
Yeah, different.
As you're not responding, you see Lady Leokadia beginning to look into all those thoughts. First observing what is going on in your head, then probing deeper, and you feel her pulling out the memories of you torturing Arek, of you making a promise to her, of you relaying that promise to the Camarilla, of your various conversations with Mr. Cernovsky, and the Tremere Primogen that took place during the planning. There's some scenes of you crying when you realize what you were doing, but then going back to what you were doing, and she's just looking. And you see these memories flash in your head as she pulls them out, so you know what she's looking at. Do you say anything?
I don't think physically or mentally. I think at this stage I'm almost just, it's almost like feeling like you're in a movie theater with just the film reeling, the film reel spinning. And I'm kind of gobsmacked at myself, even though I knew this somewhere down inside of me. There's still just this self-disgust and just absolute terror. And I don't think there is even anything that could be said or thought at this stage. So I'm just stood there, frozen
Lady
in fear.
Leokadia takes a bit more time. She probes deeper at your memories of your conversations with Mr. Sarnowski and Tremere Regent. Because you had 5 successes, you get a sense how she's looking. She's trying to learn more about what they were planning, almost read between the lines. But of course, your memories are better now, but they're not complete, and they are slowly beginning to fade. And you notice that she observes that fading as well, and takes a moment just looking into your head.
I think I'm almost just staring off into the middle distance at this point. My gaze sort of almost on the abstract figure behind her, but almost not really seeing it, just watching the blood as it trails down across the skin.
As you watch the blood as it trails across the skin, roll your perception and occult with difficulty 7.
What the hell is my occult score? Probably not good. Could be worse.
Yeah, I think your occult is not too bad.
It could be worse. Sorry, was it difficulty 7?
7, yes.
1, 2, 3. 3 successes. I love how I counted it and then immediately forgot what the number was. It's going well.
So you look at the blood, you fixate on it, and you look at the sculpture. And from looking at it, you get a sense of a person there. The person who seems familiar, but you can't recall the name or the face, and there's no face left. But there's clear familiarity there. You know that you know whoever this was. And you get a sense of the core of who they were, being taken apart, rearranged and twisted. Their thoughts and feelings formed into an equally twisted and abstract sculpture as their body. Woven, like their flesh was woven with Lady Leokadia's fingertips. And then you're back with her looking at the blood. You still feel her in your mind, observing how your memories fade, observing your thoughts and memories of that vision.
I think as it's happening, as memories are starting to fade as well, I think there's the emotions of the self-disgust, the self-hatred, and the fear are kind of the things that linger. There's a part of me that's looking at the sculpture and like considering the who that used to be, and the idea of being rearranged and made into something else, or not being whatever that was before, was almost kind of appealing, even as strange and horrific as this site is. It's kind of the sort of discomfort at witnessing this and the horror of what this is almost drowned out by the self-disgust.
And you hear lady's voice. Do you understand your sin, Beatrice?
And I think, and I try and sort of hold on to it, and I think I just feel like I am the issue. I don't know if like I can even picture what the sin would be as things are fading.
Well, they're not like faded yet.
Yeah,
you get like you don't have details anymore. But
no, it's kind of like this messy smear.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to sort of pick out. And I think even even if I had clear memory, I'm not sure I could even answer her question clearly. So I'm not. I don't know that she would even necessarily have an answer if she had a clear memory, but just what what I'm focusing in on is just me.
And she looks into your thoughts and sees it and reaches towards your chest, towards where she carved the promise into your skin, and looks at the skin that has already been healed by you. And looks at it for a moment, and then takes a step back, looks straight at you, and says, the young Gangrel is sure to learn of your betrayal and will hate you for being used.
Good.
She nods her head, and around this time, the door opens, and two of the ghouls, the revenants, come in without the word from Lady Leokadia. They grab you and quite strongly lead you or drag you if you don't move fast enough towards a chair and hold you down in it.
I don't struggle.
You don't struggle.
I think there's a single bloody tear on my face, just from the overwhelming sensations. But I just go with them, whether it's being dragged or not.
And Lady Leokadia comes up to you, goes behind you as they hold you down in a chair, and reaches towards your head. And we'll come back to you. Janina.
Poor little bear.
You're walking with Salomea deeper into the church. She's leading you along the church's main aisle. You see archers still standing on both sides. And as she takes you by the arm and walks with you, you feel yourself drawn towards her. And you are under the influence of presence.
Okay.
You can resist.
Okay, I will try.
And when you wish.
I will try to resist.
So you can resist, but you have to spend a point of willpower.
Okay.
Like, not now, but as long as you're in her company. So
I will try to resist for now.
You try to resist for now.
I just saw her making out with someone I hate. So
yes, that did happen. So
otherwise, I would not. But
roll your willpower. Just roll it for now with difficulty 8.
Okay, three minus 1, so 2.
So you can spend a point of willpower now to resist it. But as long as you remain near her, you will need to keep doing it.
I just need to forget what I saw.
So she doesn't seem to mind or anything. She just, after you've walked away a little bit, she looks to you and asks and says, I must say, you surprised me. I was sure he would not manage to bring you here.
I give her a serious but trying to appeal friendly smile, and I say, well, he had some convincing reasons.
What were they?
I forgot.
Convincing other is not his strongest suit.
I wish I would remember what he said.
He said that you're too good for the Camarilla, and you would be stifled there. You would be freer in the Sabbat. But you can also make up whatever.
You also shit talk the Camarilla.
I think I just say something in the theme that he said that I was too good for Camarilla and that I could be more free and be more of myself here.
Well, that certainly is true and a convincing reason for one who is already inclined to go that way. What are you hoping to find here, Janina?
I'm tempted to say my sister, but I'm not sure I'm sure they know that me and Bea are close. And I don't know that Blah blew her cover. So I guess I'll say that I have a few, and also Nastya and Felicia. So I will say that I hope to reconnect with some of my closest people that seem to, what's the right word? Convert? I don't know.
Well, you can say whatever Janina would say. So, can be convert.
Imagine, just better, said, because I feel I haven't spoken in English for a while.
No worries. No worries. It's all right.
I just forget everything.
It's perfectly okay.
Okay. Thank you.
She smiles at that and leads you from the main aisle into one of the sides of the church. If you want to keep resisting, you need to spend another point of willpower.
I will spend another one, but after that, I'm gonna stop.
So you're at 6 now.
Yes, because I need to keep some willpower for later.
Might come in handy. So you continue to resist, and she says, yes, I think Nastya will be very happy to see you. She hopes to redeem you with her love and violence if necessary.
I smile.
I must say, I understand why. She gives you a smile.
I smile back.
Still holding on to your arm.
I smile a bit, taken aback. But I try to go along with being friendly. And I'll ask about Nastya, if she's doing well.
She's not at her prime yet, but I'm sure your company will help her a great deal, especially if you intend to stay.
That's what I hope.
You're lying, right?
Yes, I am.
Why not? Roll your manipulation and subterfuge.
You want to spend any more willpower?
Oh, yeah, I think I will spend. Oh, damn it. I wish I could just buy more. What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is 6. I rolled for her.
Okay, I have 2 on the dice and I spent 1 willpower.
So you have 3.
Yes.
She smiles. She just smiles at you. And why not roll your perception and empathy and see if you see through her.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is also 6.
Okay, then 4 successes.
Successes. This is less good roll. Yeah, you do actually see that she sees that you're lying. She's not fooled by any of this.
Okay.
She thinks
in that
you're
case,
like, you in the sense that she doesn't like threaten you immediately or intends to do anything about it. She finds it maybe endearing, maybe adorable in a way. But she knows.
Yeah, I just smile and maybe I add just like a bit of damage control, and I and I say that maybe I'll stay, but maybe I would like to just live on my own, just something in that case. And that is less of a lying because that's what I'm honestly at, because that's what I've been thinking in a while, especially after Daniel died. So, yeah.
Hard existence, especially that then you would not be protected by any notions of hospitality that someone like Zimovit might have.
Yeah, that's true.
No, you are our guest.
Oh, thank you.
And you see that she leads you towards a confessional and opens it, and inside it is a dead body.
Okay, I got scared. I will have to confess.
And she gestures towards it. And since you are a guest, it wouldn't be very hospitable of me not to offer a refreshment. He's quite fresh, but I'm afraid it's the best I can offer at the moment. And you see it is a body of a fairly young worker.
Okay.
Whose neck has been broken.
If he's already dead, then I just I'm grossed out a little bit, but I'll do it. It doesn't. I won't make a scene.
Already dead.
Yeah. Then I just kneel to it and just start drinking.
How much do you drink?
I'm at 8. So I'll drink everything that he has left, because
you can drink until you're full. You can take the 4 blood points that you're missing.
Okay. Well, I do that because I'm not crazy. Why would I waste good blood?
So you drink and
hope it's not laced.
And then move away from the body. And you see Salome observing you and smiling, saying, "Well, I see you have been a bit hungry."
Oh, I feel like I'm always
"That is part of who we are." And she smiles at you. "And if you want to keep resisting presence, you need to spend another point of willpower."
I think I'm not. I have to save some willpower, and I don't know. I will go for it. I hope I'm not gonna end up having a threesome with her and Ziemovit.
So now you see how beautiful she is, and you feel drawn towards her. You feel like you want her to like you. You want to get closer to her.
I'm gonna
and she
steal
comes
her
up
from Ziemovit.
She comes up and says, she sits next to you on a bench that has been placed. There are gestures for you to sit.
I'll
So,
sit.
Janina, tell me about yourself. And she starts caressing your arm very gently.
I think I just become a bit like shy and I giggle a bit because I'm not used to that. But I'll tell her about my mortal life. I don't hide anything in particular. I tell her whatever she needs to know. I tell her how I met Daniel. And I think when I talk about him, I just remember him of it, and that makes me feel bitter. So I probably move on from that very fast and spend more time about just talking about life before we were back with the Camarilla. So when it was just me, Bea and Mara and Felicia. And I answer any questions that she has.
She doesn't really ask questions, but when you talk about life with Mara and Bea, she asks, "So this is a life you would like to go back to?"
Yes. Yes, it is. I'm just tired
I'm
of everything.
afraid with that, I can't help you.
I understand.
I can only tempt you with something better. And she leans in and tries to give you a kiss.
Oh, I'm not resisting right now, so with the nod that she kissed Ziemovit.
So
it's almost like I was kissing him. Oh.
Do you maybe resist after all?
No, because I don't. If she's using presence, I don't think I'm just trying to resist. Because I feel like I crave intimacy and affection. Because I felt lonely, so I let her. And I kiss her back.
And you spend some time there.
Now the door opens and it's Nastya.
And she runs a hand through your hair and moves closer to you with her body.
Well, I let it. I'm having a much better time than Beth.
So you let it all happen. You do not try to resist any longer.
No.
And she goes all the way, and it is very pleasurable.
Well, let me taste that Sabbat pussy. I'm sorry.
You do. And you spend you forget yourself completely. Just having sex with her there on a bench in a church. Meanwhile, Bea.
One of these scenes is not like the other one.
A very different vibe now.
Yep. Sorry, excuse me a second.
You feel Lady Leokadia open your skull, and you feel her fingers sliding into your brain, as her thoughts slide again deeper into your mind. It doesn't really hurt, but it is a strange, very uncomfortable feeling of fingers touching your brain and then beginning to unravel it and rearrange it. And as this happens, her thoughts pull at your thoughts like a scalpel. And you get flashes of memories. You see yourself, you remember walking along a street with Casper in the sunlight, talking about some matters relating to your shop. You see the street during the day in bright lights, and the sign pointing to where you had your business, some customers waiting for you to open up. You remember holding your son, Shimon, in your arms and singing to him, trying to get him to stop crying and then get to sleep. You remember bombs and ash in the air. You remember the taste of Felicia's Vita, and you feel how much you miss it in this flash of memory. You remember your first coterie, their names, their faces. You remember a scene where Kuba and Martin are arguing over something. You see Kashka rolling her eyes at you, pointing at them. And you see Arek there, but not really listening, staring into the distance with an empty look in his eyes. Then you remember finding their ashes. You remember being with Felicia after Camarilla has dispersed. You remember meeting Janina in a basement of a hospital. You remember Mara being brought by Felicia, all confused and lost, not understanding much about your existence in society. You remember leaving at your haven at Praga. You remember coming to Hotel Bristol. You remember various people you've met. You remember Antoni and his face, Roman, Rahela, Joachim, the people who expressed interest in you and cared for you. You remember how Zimovit and Ines attacked the anarchs. You remember being made to run away with Janina and Mara staying behind. And some of these memories begin to fade, but as they do, you feel them kept from it, stitched together as something is rearranged in your brain. And you remember more and more of your life as a kindred and as a mortal, as this is happening. You remember various scenes, your sisters, moments just after your embrace, moments leading you here to this place. It's not complete, but it is quite extensive.
Than I had.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
Far more than I had.
Yeah. What are you thinking, feeling as this is happening? What's running through your head?
I think my hands sort of gripping the sides of the chair, just shaking. And there's seeing Shimon, it hurts. It hurts because I know what happened to him. Seeing my old coterie, seeing Mara, all the people that I've lost. I see Casper and can maybe now recognize how when I looked at him before I saw a stranger, but this was someone that I knew, someone that I loved, someone that I cared for. I feel like all of my grief is hitting me at once. My grief for my grief for myself, for my loved ones. I don't think I could have told anyone what daylight looked like before this. I'd seen photos of it, but it wasn't the same. I miss people so intensely. And it hurts. All of it hurts so much. It's almost overwhelming having this sheer quantity of memories that I've not been holding on to for so long. It feels like my head's almost too full. And I think I'm starting to see how much I was just picking directions to go in based off of whatever I could remember in the moment. But I was always losing the bigger picture. I was always losing why I was doing something or who I was doing it for. And I'm both scared and terrified of having more of these memories, but also I want to hold on to them.
And after a while, you feel Lady Leokadia close your skull, and memories are still there. And you hear her say, "This is what I could have given you if you hadn't betrayed me." And she gently closes your skull back, rearranges your hair, and turns away from you. Walking away from you, at which the two revenants who've been holding you down pick you up to bring you to your feet. They almost like carry you and take you out of the room. And what is running through your head?
My son's face. His name.
And with that, now present in your memory, you're being taken up the stairs of the mansion. And we'll come back to you.
I'm having time of my life, and poor Bear. Couldn't be more different.
Janina, it hasn't it been great. And after you're done, Salomea gives you one last kiss and stands up, rearranging her very loose and revealing clothing. Yes, I can definitely see what draws Nastya so strongly towards you.
I also dress up and just I feel a bit awkward right now, but I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what did I do?
Well, you are in a church.
Yeah.
She says, don't worry, it can be our little secret.
I smile and say, well, thank you. That has been fun.
Well,
is this what you do in the Sabbat? A lot?
As much as you want, I suppose. I found, well, with some people, I just can't resist.
Now I'm gonna go to Zhemovit and I say, we both had her.
Before you do that.
No, I'm joking.
She wraps an arm around you and says, come, you should go meet the bishop. He will want to speak with you.
Oh, okay.
And she drops the presents.
Okay, now I just remember why I'm here and like everything, and I'm just like embarrassed inside of myself. Like, why did I do that?
It was not unpleasant.
Like, yeah, but I don't know. I'm just, I just shake my head a bit as I'm walking, but I'm trying to gather myself for the bishop.
And she leads you towards the sacristy for the side door near the altar. Opens the door, and inside she just walks in. You see inside a very pale man, looking to be maybe in his 40s, wearing a simple black priest's robe with a black collar. And you recognize him.
Oh, no.
Because you've seen him briefly in Zygmunt's house, taking Nastya away after Zygmunt had died.
Okay, I think it's hard for me, like to. My face drops a bit, but I try my best to not show it.
Roll your self-control and subterfuge with difficulty 8.
Okay. Not bad. 3 successes.
So you manage to keep it off your face for the most part. And you see that the man is sitting in an armchair, and in another chair near him is Nastya, who looks to you very surprised.
I give her a look, like for a moment, but then I look back at the man.
The bishop.
Yes.
And Salomea says, Bishop, this is Janina, whom we've been hearing about. I thought you will certainly want to meet her since she decided to pay us a visit. And the bishop looks to you, nods his head, and says, no worries. Indeed, he glances to you, Nastya, who's just looking at you with question all over her face, and looks to Salomea and says, indeed, I think I'd quite like to speak with Janina alone, he says, mostly to Nastya, who looks for a moment like she will protest, but then Salomea takes her by the hand and says, "Come, my dear. You will get plenty of time to speak with her afterwards, or do whatever you want." And she leads Nastya away.
I don't look at Nastya. I just look at the man and wait for them to leave.
They leave. They close the door behind them. And the bishop says, "Janina, please sit down." And he gestured towards the chair Nastya was just sitting in and smiles at you. And as he does, the way he gestures and his smile are eerily similar to how Zygmunt would smile and gesture for you to sit when you spoke to him.
Okay.
And you can't help seeing him in this gesture and in this smile.
Did the bishop diablerize him?
You think most likely, yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure. So
yeah.
I was a bit confused, but okay. In that case, I can't say anything.
Well, you haven't seen the diablerie, but you've seen he was there after.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's what I'm thinking now, especially when I see him do stuff like Zygmunt did. And I sit down and try to compose myself.
He says, "I've been hoping to meet you for a while now. And I must say, I admire your boldness in showing up here at our door. Why did you come here?"
Well, I came to see Nastya, and I don't know, she was talking to me about all this, and then Zhemovit, do I know his name? I don't remember.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Then Zhemovit found me and talked to me. So I guess I have decided to give this a go for Nastya.
Have you now? Well, what exactly convinced you? Is it just Nastya? Or are you not quite comfortable in the lovely Camarilla?
Well, I think in this I'm not going to lie, and I explained that I'm not really happy there, and I'm not sure if I can be happy here. But Nastya's here, and apparently some other people that I care about. I mean Bea, but also like Felicia.
Do you say Bea and Felicia, or do you know?
I'm not saying unless he asks.
Okay. He does ask, what other people do you mean?
And I say, I think first I say Felicia, because I know that she has been here for a while. And then I mention Bea, that she's apparently also here.
The Malkavian.
Yes.
She has been, well, not here, but in one of our havens, but has been taken to the voivode.
Oh, no, it's fine. I hope I get to see her.
It so happens that I am going to see the voivode tomorrow night. You could accompany me if you so wished. He says with this smile that again reminds you of Zygmunt.
I think it purely makes me like comfortable and not comfortable at the same time. But I think I feel more comfortable now because of that, because he reminds me of Zygmunt now, even though like deep inside it makes me like disturbed. But I agree and ask if I can, that I would love to visit the voivode if he'll take me with him.
Of course, I will make sure you are with me. When we're there, you must respect the rules of hospitality. Otherwise, the voivode will make sure you never leave.
That's understandable.
And while you're here, you have nothing to fear as well, as long as you don't step out of line, he says with a slightly mischievous smile. Roll perception and empathy. Difficulty 6.
Okay. 3 successes.
So you see, he's not actually hiding that. In smiling, he expects that you will step out of line as he says that.
I'll ask him what exactly is stepping out of line.
But you also see certain fondness for you. It's not a sort of that he hopes you will step out of line or is setting a trap for you. There is a certain fondness. He seems to like you in some way. Do you ask?
Yes, I will. I will ask like in a playful way because I feel more comfortable with him now.
Well, Janina, there's many ways one can betray those who offer you hospitality and invite you into their haven.
Okay. I understand. I'm just surprised at how polite all of you are.
Yes, we must seem quite horrid to you.
Well,
do you know why we do what we do? Do you know why the Sabbat came to be and what we stand for?
I'm thinking, oh my God, a lesson. I think I really don't, like, not particularly, like maybe some, I don't remember if
you don't have a clue.
Yeah. I just say that I don't, that I just know that they kill people for no reason, and that's if he wants to enlighten me about the history, then I'm interested to
he gives a little laugh at that. I see you've been purposefully kept in the dark, but that is the way of the Camarilla. And even one such as Zygmunt would not tell you everything.
When he mentions his name, it makes me sad suddenly. And I probably like just like I was kind of like smiling, and now like if I was alive, a color would left my face, but I'm just like I lost like my thoughts for a moment. And he mentioned Zygmunt, but if he starts to speak again, I will come back.
Yeah, he continues. You see, we were the first ones to rebel against the elders who would enslave their child there by blood and own their whole existence. That is part of what we are. We reject the assumption that you must always obey your elders and do their bidding and be nothing but their pawn.
Okay, so if I was in the Sabbat, I wouldn't have to obey you.
If you had the strength to back up your claims and point of view and stand by what you want, no one could force you to obey.
So you wouldn't have forced me to kill people.
Janina. Of course, I would not force you. In time, those who have qualms and difficulties come to understand the importance of overcoming them and honing their strength as a first priority. I don't expect you to understand it right now, because you are not one of the Sabbats.
That's fair. I just wonder what's the point of the existence of the Sabbat. Like, I understand, like, hating Camarilla, that's fine. But if there would not be any Camarilla, then what would you do with your life? What's the motivation?
Well, I suppose whatever we would want at that point. But there is Camarilla. And what Camarilla would not tell you, Janina, is that behind Camarilla, there are more ancient, more powerful, other kind, who enslave even the elders, who would rule you. This is who we want to bring down and destroy.
And do you have proof? Like, who came up with this? I'm sorry, I'm just really curious. Like, have anyone seen any of these creatures?
Yes, my clan has destroyed the elder of our clan.
And which clan is that? I'm sorry.
He looks to you. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
I feel like there's something about him that reminds me of Zygmunt, in like that I can ask a lot of questions, like that he's approachable. So that's why I'm asking a lot of like things that I wouldn't ask someone else in his position, probably. I'm really like curious. I want proof. I want like something, because like Camarilla says one thing, they say another, and I just would like to know the truth. So I'm genuinely curious.
He replies to you, having looked at you, Clan La Sombra.
Okay, I've not really met any of your clan before. At least I think
you have met.
I did. Who?
Florian, the different priest.
But that was a Sabbat.
Yeah,
it wasn't like someone like I interacted with.
No, not really.
I don't even like remember if I knew that he was La Sombra. So to me,
yeah, that's true.
Like Biesh, I'm sorry, like he's extremely annoying, and he takes a lot of space. Just like annoys me, so I have to like take him out.
He says, "No, you wouldn't have. We don't generally have many interactions with the Camarilla, not the ones where we can converse freely, at least. But we can right now. If you're looking for proofs,
I do.
There are proofs. I don't have everything here on hand. There are those of us who dedicate themselves to studying and searching and uncovering. If you're interested, Felicia that you mentioned showed a lot of interest in those studies. You should speak with her about what she learned so far.
I would like
And
to
if
see
you
her.
want it, I'll make sure that you do.
Thank you.
And if you wanted to pursue that route further, well, it can take many years. But there are answers to be found.
Yeah. Well, thank you for explaining and being approachable. I can appreciate that.
You're free to stay with us and explore.
I definitely want to. I'm very curious. I just want to understand.
There's a lot to understand. Felicia will show you to some of the things I shared with her.
Thank you. I sit there unless he tells me to go.
He looks at you for a moment as well. But then he just says, I won't keep you any longer. I will see you tomorrow. And we'll go to the voivode's house.
Okay, thank you. What I'm supposed to do here, around here, right now?
I'm sure there's people who will want to see you.
Okay.
Since you came to find them.
All right, thank you. And I get up and I just slightly bow, just like out of courtesy.
If you start bowing, he kind of raises. We don't do that here.
Oh, okay. All right, then I shake his hand.
He gives you a hand and shakes it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I awkwardly leave. Leave the room.
You leave the room.
Did I found a new daddy?
And I think this is a good...
certainly a father.
And I think on that note, we can take a break.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. We will be back in about 15 minutes. See you after the break.
Thank
you.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us to continue the story of Bella and Janina. We hope you're enjoying this episode, and let's get right back into it. With Bea. Bea.
Yep.
You're taken upstairs by the two revenants. They take you to a room that they open and not quite throw you in, but push you in, locking the door behind them. And you see the room is fairly small, but not like, cramped or anything. There is a bed in there. There is an empty bookshelf and a small window covered by drapes that you're pretty certain will not let through the sun.
Can I still feel the lady in my head?
Not at the moment.
Comforting. I'm sort of stood there and I feel like I'm kind of processing how my brain feels right now, because that's quite new and strange. And I'm still quite overwhelmed with feelings, but there's that sort of mixture of the fear but also a lot more clarity than I normally have. So I'm thinking. Sort of looking around the room, taking in my surroundings, and like taking in my surroundings, but almost not really all that interested. Um, and I guess if can the drapes be moved, or are they like nailed in place?
You can move them.
Okay, I want to peek out the window.
So you can peek out. It's like, you peek out the window, you see the forest that surrounds the house. In the distance, the window is rather small. You think you might not fit through it.
No, that's fair. I wasn't even necessarily.
I'm just saying it just in case. But you see the forest there. You see part of the garden. You see one of the revenants walking across the garden. You see the snow covering the trees and the ground. Quite a lot of footsteps on the ground. And that's about it. You hear barking of dogs coming from somewhere, but you don't see any.
Okay. I spend some time sort of looking out the window and thinking, and just being very aware that everything's gone horribly wrong in every direction, but I'm also now kind of examining my mind and who I am, and putting some things together. And it's kind of like looking at a weird sort of patchwork quilt tapestry of bits of memory that I've occasionally had access to here and there, but kind of processing that and thinking about people. And the memories of Shimon and Casper are hurting a lot, but at the moment I'm almost trying to push that down a bit to try to not break down and start crying, because I feel like there's a lot of other things I maybe need to do in this moment. I'm feeling the self-disgust at myself, who I have been. There's also, now that I'm able to see like all of the aspects of my memory, I'm like looking back at some of my own choices and angry at myself for other things, for hurting Felicia, for even becoming the sort of fawning Camarian neonate that I did, and just kind of turning to whoever was kind of in charge in the moment and just looking to them for direction. And I'm really frustrated at myself, but also know exactly, like, I didn't have any other things to work off of. So I guess I'm trying to figure out what my own perspective is in this moment, and trying to work out who I am and what I choose to do now that is entirely me and mine, in a way that I feel like I've not been able to make choices like that before.
So that's definitely a long process. But is there something that's jumping out at Bea as things she either regrets or things she was happy with that she's done?
I regret some of the things I've done to Janina. Sorry, I had a thought and it went. How very in character. I'm remembering calling Antoni when Janina went to the church and how that went. And I guess there's part of me that regrets that. I regret ever signing up for this stupid bloody mission I'm currently fucking up royally in this very moment. I regret not remembering to turn to my friends when I needed help. I regret I regret letting my hatreds of Arik blind me to everything else. Not necessarily because I don't think that I should be angry at him and hate him, but the fact that I didn't remember any of the other feelings that I had about him. There's kind of that the memory of when I told someone that I always remember how I feel, and I'm now sort of examining that and going, but I don't always remember how I feel. I remember how I feel now, but not how I have felt. And there's kind of a weird mixture between those feelings now. There's I think of Antoni and I miss him, and I want to be close to him, and I want to warn him that this has gone wrong. I want to find Janina, and I want to say that I'm sorry for what I did to Marta. And I'm sorry for all the other ways that I've been a pretty awful sister. I miss Felicia intensely. I regret hurting her, but I also am angry at some of the ways she's treated me. I'm really angry thinking about my family from before and then me after my embrace, and the fact that I didn't know that I had them. And then during that time, I lost my son. I don't know how long I would have had with my son if she hadn't taken me away. And I try and force my head away from that thought. I try and force my way away from that because that hurts too much. And I also sort of recoil from thinking angrily about Felicia. The blood bond is still there. There's probably more things, but there's just too much to even go through in a timely fashion or in a way that the player, can think of right now.
No, it's all right. And there's a lot of fuss, naturally. I was just curious what are the main things
the first ones are coming to point. Yeah. I think about the fact that I helped Dominic, and I'm suddenly like, I wonder if he has anyone that can still help him while I'm not there. I think about my ghoul that I forgot I had.
You have forgotten about it.
Yeah. And I think about him, and I'm suddenly afraid for him. And that I left him unattended to, but I don't know if he will do something to hurt himself while I'm away. And so I turn and I look at the door behind me, and I'm looking at the lock. Is the lock one that goes all the way through to the other side of the door, like keyhole wise, or?
There would be a keyhole, yeah.
So past the fear and my self-disgust at myself and the confusion that I've been living with and the grief, I think I need to get out, and I need to get away from here and warn people. I suppose I could do that quite quickly, but I don't know how much time I have. And I also think of what Roman told me of it's better to fail and get out alive than it is to succeed and die. And so with this direction, even if it's hopeless, maybe I might not even get a few corridors down, but I don't want to be frozen not making a choice. So I pull out a hairpin and I go to pick the lock.
Go for it. That's dexterity and larceny. Sorry.
That's fair. I was looking at my own sheet going,
and difficulty will be 7.
I have an 8, 2 9s, and a 10, so 4 successes.
So you're picking the lock, and it clicks and opens, and we'll come back to you.
It's so bad for poor Bea. I hope I get to see her before she dies.
I see the morale is very high.
The morale's so high. I have so much belief in my character.
Janina, you step out of the sacristy, and you see Nastya waiting for you, not quite like at the door, but pacing around like the altar and the front of the church.
I see her, but I'm not going to her unless like she starts to.
She comes up to you.
Okay. Then
immediately.
In that case,
she grabs your arm and kind of starts leading you as if, to walk with you. And she leans in and says, Janina, what are you doing here?
You wanted this, didn't you?
I did, of course I did, but
I'm exploring options.
Really?
Yeah.
And you see there's this like hope on her face.
And I say, yeah, it's like half. It's half true because right now I'm like intrigued. So right now I'm not like on a vengeance path.
How are you feeling being close to her, given your full blood bond and your experiences?
I mean, of course, like deep inside, I'm happy to see her safe. Maybe even feel a bit guilty for what I did with Salome earlier, even though I shouldn't. We're broken up. So I don't know. It just feels weird to me to be speaking to her without like having to hide. And there's like anger in me still for how she acted with not letting me kill Zygmunt. Not Zygmunt. Sorry, that I would hate myself for. Ziemovid. But I'm trying to concentrate on different things than Nastya.
It's hard though.
It
blood bond pulling at you.
I'm trying to resist. Was like, if she's just like talking,
she's just talking
okay,
for now.
In that case, like I'm being polite and I talk with her casually and tell her why I'm there, like what I told like the bishop and stuff, that I'm exploring options and that now I'm curious, and that he told me that I can talk to Felicia or anyone that I want to hear, and that tomorrow I'm going to see Voivod because Bea's apparently there.
She listens, nods her head. Yes, I told her to run away. She wouldn't run.
No, of course she wouldn't. Is she safe?
I don't know. But she seemed to think she can join us. But I don't see it.
Mm.
With you, it's different.
Is it?
Yes. You have the spirit.
But I don't want to kill people.
I know, Janina. I've missed you so much. She gives you a hug.
I hug her reluctantly.
But there is a part of you that is happy.
Yeah, there is. But I hug her, and I say that I'm glad that she's doing all right.
I am, but I'm sorry, Janina. I'm sorry I couldn't be who you wanted me to be. But I love you so much.
Well, thank you for taking accountability. What you did.
You see, Nastya, there is this moment when she looks at you and there is this anger that flashes through her face, but she stays in control.
I'm sorry too, I pushed you away, but let's just be friends now.
You don't want to just be friends, I know it.
Maybe, but right now, I have other things on my mind than this.
Do you?
Yes.
Is that true?
Well, it is, because right now I'm trying to, like, there's so much to digest for me, like the Sabbat being so civilized and polite and genuinely intriguing me. Then I worry about Bea, and I'm also still very upset about what happened to Daniel, and so I don't want to deal with relationship stuff with her right now.
She looks at you. Okay, then. Let's be friends.
Well, I'm glad you're safe. Can you tell me where Felicia is?
She's right. So she's with Irmina somewhere, and with Casper. She's not back yet.
Okay.
But can find her for you when she comes back.
Yes, please do that. Thank you. But what I'm supposed to do here before,
Come, I'll show you somewhere where you can sleep.
Okay. Well,
you see that it is
show
now
me
getting
the fun.
Yeah, it is now getting fairly late. It's not yet like sunrise, but you feel it beginning to approach.
Mm.
Well, if you're looking for fun, never mind. Come on.
I mean, I meant more like fun that you get to do around here. But it's too late, so I'll leave it for tomorrow.
Yeah. Come on. And she leads you down the stairs into crypt of the church.
Okay. Well,
you can stay here. It's quite big. There's several like spaces there.
Okay. I'll sit somewhere in the corner.
She sits next to you.
Are you staying?
Of course I'm staying. I don't want you to do anything silly.
Right. Oh, okay.
You're here for Bea, right?
Well,
take her back.
I'm not gonna say that that I am. I'm just gonna say that I'm genuinely interested in the Sabbat, and that I'm here to also meet with Bea. I don't know if she'll want to go back. I just want to see her and make sure she's safe.
She nods her head. Right.
I just lean back and just close my eyes and just hope that I fall asleep very soon.
So what do you want to know about the Sabbat?
I open my eyes. Is she asking me?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was
no,
like
she's asking
you.
Nastya is asking you.
Okay. And I just like ask her about the same stuff that I was talking about with the bish. Yeah, I'm calling him right now.
It's fine. I can believe that for Janina, actually.
No, that's me saying Janina would say it like the bishop. It's just funny to me. And I just like ask her about like how happy she's here, what she's doing like during the night with her free nights. Like, I don't know if she doesn't have any like tasks, like what she's doing with her time.
When you ask that, she looks a bit like, gives you a bit of a dark look and says, I accomplished a pretty big task. Reintegrating, you could say. I spent a lot of time with the bishop, with Salomea. She came here to help me remember
Can
who
imagine
I was.
the help. I think Janina definitely thinks about that, but she says nothing.
Roll your self-control and subterfuge.
What's the difficulty?
6.
Then 3 success. 3.
3. She looks at you when, like, you more or less hide it, but there is this weird expression that crosses your face, and she just, what?
And I just, nothing. She's just, I don't know how to say it. I don't know. I don't want to make it awkward, so I just probably change the topic.
No, she's what? Did she hit on you?
Oh, no. You could say that.
Yeah. I imagine she would. She says, and there's certain anger there, but she doesn't do anything about it.
I just try to change the topic. Like, let's not make her angry before we go to sleep. What I'm gonna do if she's frenzies here?
You don't think she is close to frenzy?
Okay.
She's just a bit annoyed.
Yeah. Well, I tell her that. Well, why not? She pissed me off. She deserves to be pissed off back. So I'll tell her that she hit on me and then that I just read it.
Okay. Now I'm gonna roll. Whoa.
Oh, no.
So you see Nastya's eyes just stare at you, and her pupils go absolutely narrow, and her fangs extend. And she grabs you and smashes you against the wall with all her strength.
Oh, it's gonna be brawl.
It's gonna be brawl. Roll your wit and alertness to see who goes first.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty 6.
Okay, then I have 5, surprisingly.
Do you have any 10s?
2 10s.
They can't double because of your specialty, I think. So, yeah, you have more successes. You'll go first. So she grabs you and will want to smash you against the wall, but you actually get to act first.
I will try to overpower her and get on top of her instead. Like roll her on the back and roll. Just subdue her.
Strength, potence, brawl.
She's lucky I'm so strong. Okay. What's the difficulty?
6.
Okay, then I have 4 successes.
4 successes. She has 3. So you do manage to pin her down and hold her.
Yeah, I'll try to hold her and just hope that she'll come back.
And she's struggling against you, definitely trying to push you, but you manage to hold her down. What is running through your head? What are you thinking? What are you feeling as this is happening?
There is part of me that wants to scream at her. Well, see how nice it is to be betrayed by someone you love, but I'm not saying anything. I think I just try to concentrate all my energy to just hold her down, to not make her go fully rampage. And because I don't want to also go into frenzy and just.
Is there a part that feels guilty?
Well, more awkward than guilty, because it wouldn't happen if Salome didn't use presents.
Yeah.
And also, we were broken up, so I'm not. I think it's more like revenge. a bit of like,
yeah,
because like she hurt me, and I think what she did was much worse. So I just feel like I enjoy that she's getting a bit of taste of her own medicine in a way, but at the same time, I don't want her to completely like lose it, and like I don't want to hurt her, and I don't want her to hurt me like physically. So
after some time, she comes out of frenzy and looks at you with this absolute anger and just says, "That fucking bitch."
I just say that,
and then she grabs you and pulls you in and kisses you on the lips.
Well, I kiss her back, but not like, it's more like I do miss her and stuff. And but after a moment, like I push her away, and I say that that we're over, that we are still over.
Are we?
Yes.
And she pulls you closer again. Kiss me.
No. And I'll push her away.
Roll your willpower to resist the blood bond.
Oh no.
Difficulty 8. Your current willpower, that is.
Yeah, okay.
Some of it.
Yeah, I just have to remember, which I have 5. I have, what's the difficulty?
The difficulty is 8.
Okay, then I have 9 and 10, so 2.
You can say no to her.
Okay, I will. And I push her away and just go sit down at the other side of the room.
Make a roll. You see Natia looks at you for a moment, and there's just coldness on her face. And she walks away.
Oh no, I'm so sad. No, well, I'll let her go. I'm not saying anything. I'm just sitting alone there. The part of me is like really happy that she's gone, because it's hard for me to be cold to her. But I'm still very angry with her. So, a part of me feels guilty to treat her like this coldly. But I just don't have the energy on that right now. I have bigger stuff to worry about. I'm sorry, I just suddenly got like some kind of pop-up that like music is disabled, but there's no music.
No worries.
Okay.
And you sit there. Sorry, did you want to say something else?
No, I was just distracted by the pop-up.
Yeah. So you sit there, and eventually you start feeling sleepy, and you fall asleep there in a corner of the crypt. Beatrice Wozniak.
Oh, fuck.
You opened the door, and you want to push the door. Well, you open the lock and you want to push the door to open.
First, I'd like to listen.
If you'd like to listen, okay. Then do you use your specs? Okay. Yeah. Then roll your perception and alertness just with difficulty 6 if you're using your heightened senses.
Yeah. 2 successes.
You don't hear any movement immediately outside your door. You hear voices and footsteps around the house, most of them speaking in a language you don't understand, but it's not a lot of activity, but you get hints of conversations. One thing that draws your attention, coming from, you think, on the other side of the house, but on the same floor, is a voice speaking in Polish, which you recognize now as Dominic, asking, will I be able to see the lady? Please, I really need to speak with her. And you hear a voice assuring him that he will see her. He will see her. He just needs to wait, as she's busy at the moment.
And I feel like I've let him down. I'm angry that I wasn't there to help him. I don't even know that I can get myself out. I definitely don't think I could get both of us out. What time of night is it right now?
It's feeling quite late.
Shit. So even if I got out, there's no guarantee I'd get anywhere where I could be safe. Then I guess I let go of the door and I go and sit on the bed. And I want to try to leave my body and speak to Antoni.
Then roll perception and awareness and spend 1 willpower. Your difficulty will be 6. This is familiar.
Okay. Sorry, what was this?
Perception and awareness.
Perception and awareness. Okay. Difficulty 6. Okay. Yep. Several successes. 4 successes.
Then you leave your body to go to Antoni, and you find yourself in the lobby of Hotel Bristol, and you see Antoni standing near a toreador, Stefania, whom now you recognize and haven't interacted with much, but you remember who she is now. And she is smiling at him, standing fairly close, not quite touching him, but definitely going into his personal space. And saying, thank you for your time and this conversation and reassurance, Sheriff. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see some of my work or just relax and talk of, well, old memories of the city, I'd be very happy to. And Antoni smiles and says politely, thank you. Sleep well. I'm sure I will see you tomorrow. And they separate.
Right.
I should roll for him to see if he notices you.
I suppose so.
I will do that. Perception and yeah. He actually does.
Oh my god.
I think it's the first time.
I think it is.
He is walking away, and then he sees you and looks at you. And he's in the lobby, so he kind of wants to speak to you, but stops himself.
I guess I sort of...
But like gestures.
I will sort of drift alongside him, but I'm not thrilled about what I just watched. Can I tell how he was feeling and how he's feeling now?
Sure. Roll your perception and empathy. And I'm not going to necessarily... Well, I am. He's a ventriloquist, actually.
Yeah.
For a moment, I thought, nah, he does. Difficulty 6.
Bea is not gone even like a week, and Stefania already tries to steal her man.
Jesus Christ. 4 successes.
So you do see that he was fairly relaxed. You don't think he was into her. There was some... He was enjoying her company, and there was at the same time something stopping him from it. Okay. And now he feels guilty.
Great. Well, not thrilled, but there's certainly something else that's a bit more important than that right now.
So he's fairly quickly walking towards his room. And once he's there, he looks to you and says, Bea, I'm so glad to see you.
She knows. The Lady Leokadia.
Knows what exactly?
She's seen everything. She got into my head. She knows.
You see him look angry and frustrated and scared. Are you safe? What's going on with you?
I've been put in a room. I've picked a lock, but I don't know how far I'd get. Dominic's here.
Yes, Lucian has been frantic. He stops himself. Like he wanted to say something and just doesn't say it. It doesn't matter now. Are you able to get out of there?
I can try. I don't know how far I can get before daylight will hit, but I'll try. I just needed to let you know first, in case anyone tried anything without knowing.
Be careful. And you see him like thinking, but he didn't expect this.
That's fair.
So he's kind of trying to reassess all the
pieces,
information.
I'll try to get as far away as I can. If you don't hear from me again, I love you.
I love you too. Bea, assess the situation. If you think you can't get to safety.
There's a shed nearby that I know we've stayed in previously. If I can get there, then maybe I can wait it out.
Good luck.
Thank you, my love. Goodbye.
I'll see you soon.
I hope so. I miss you, my love.
I miss you too.
And I let myself return to my body.
You return to your body. Roll your perception and awareness.
I feel like I fucked up.
Difficulty 8.
Oh, good lord. Does my oh god.
Yes, it would, yeah.
Great, wonderful. There's 2 10s there, so those double.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so 2, 4, 9 successes.
All right, so 9 successes. You do realize as you're returning that it's you're leaving and returning that draws attention of someone who's aware of many things that go on in this house. And as you're returning to your body, you see Lady Leokadia looking at you, meeting you in your thoughts even before you return.
Make eye contact with her.
It's not really eye contact, but it's like
whatever counts as eye contact.
Yeah.
We perceive each other.
Beatrice just shakes her head.
I'm afraid, but I also don't care anymore.
And do you come back to your body?
Yes. And as soon as I'm able to move, I start moving.
You hear footsteps outside.
I'd like to activate obfuscate.
Yeah. Roll your manipulation and subterfuge. Difficulty 7. This is not for it to succeed. This is already for someone to see through it.
So it was manipulation and subterfuge.
No, sorry, I think it's performance. No, it's subterfuge. Yeah. Sorry.
Performance is when I'm wearing a face.
Performance is, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting confused.
That's okay. That's fair. I'm bad remembering what I'm doing. Okay.
No.
I'd like to spend a willpower on this.
Sure, go for it.
Six successes.
Let's see. Actually, what's the difficulty here? Okay. What's your obfuscate again?
3.
Okay. So, it's not a success. There are 2 1s. And that is still... How many did you have?
What did I say? 6?
6, I think. She has 7.
Fuck! Well then.
It was close. It was pretty good.
Oh well.
But you start moving out. But you see her coming towards you.
Oh. Shit.
From where the exit is.
In which case, I'm scared enough. I would like to activate Dementation 4 and say, leave me, and just hope that this kicks in.
Lamentation 4.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, you have that, but that's not what it's gonna do.
I know that it's not a command.
Yeah, okay. You panic and you just scream, "Leave me!" Okay. Yes. In which case,
I thought I needed to speak for her to react.
I don't think you necessarily have to, but
if I don't need to, then I don't say anything.
Roll your self-control with spend a blood point for it, and first roll your manipulation and empathy with difficulty 7.
Okay. Manipulation and empathy. Oh my God, how do I do maths? 4 successes.
All right. And then roll your self-control with difficulty 8.
Okay.
Then you don't go into frenzy.
Yay. I'm not sure this is actually going to help me, but
10, 9, 8, 8, and 9.
Yeah, it doesn't help me at all.
She comes up to you.
In which case, there's nothing else that I can do, but I will sort of look her in the face.
She looks at you, completely emotionless. Or you can try to roll perception and empathy if you'd like.
I mean, I'll roll it, but it's more just because I'm looking at her than anything else.
Okay. Yeah. Difficulty 6.
I don't know that insightful or hidden pain are going to apply here. So,
insightful could.
Okay. 7 successes. Yay.
In which case, amazingly, you do see that it is mild annoyance to her.
Yeah.
But ultimately, nothing. She grabs you by the neck, picks you up. Do you struggle?
Goodbye, Bear.
Bye. I guess I'll try to bite.
Well, to try to bite, you struggle. Okay, then roll your brawl.
My absolutely pathetic strength and brawl.
Against, oh God.
Against something absolutely ludicrous, I'm guessing. I have 2 7s. I don't think they're going to help me, but I have 2 7s.
Let's see. I could roll really badly.
I don't think I'm going to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't really do anything.
That's fair.
You think like she doesn't put much effort into it, but she knows exactly how to hold you so that you can't really reach her and can't really move much. And she doesn't look strong, but you feel now in her arms the strength you just can't push against. As she carries you back into the room, where she still holding you down with one hand, with another brings your arm closer to your body and seals it to your body, merging your flesh together, and repeats it with another arm, and then fuses your legs together, taking the skin off and wrapping on each other so that they form one part of a body instead of 2. And because you succeeded on that, to beat her on that one roll, you do see that she's irritated by this, that she has to do this. It's not like you feel like part of her mind is thinking of something completely different and another part of something else. But one part is irritated that you caused this. And she leaves you there on the bed, just shakes her head. And leaves.
Why there?
How are you feeling?
Angry. Heated. Bit glad that I tried. In that kind of, I got to make a choice for myself. Wasn't a good choice. And as I'm lying there, I feel bad for Antoni and for Dominic and for Janina and Roman and all the other people that care about me, but there's a part of me that hopes that I'll be with Shimon soon.
And with those thoughts, you fall asleep as the sun rises. And it is the next night. Bea, you can roll for nightmares.
Fuck. Oh yeah, that's a thing I do.
Your current willpower, difficulty 7.
I got a single success. At least I've got that going for me.
You do. You can both lose your blood, regain 1 willpower.
I already did, like, I know it, like, it was like very sad scene, but all I can think was, is gonna Janina have to roll Bea back to Camilla?
Sorry, I'm a caterpillar now.
Might still happen.
Jesus Christ.
I feel so bad.
I brought this upon myself.
And as another night falls, Janina, you wake up first in the crypt of the church.
I think for a moment, like, I'm confused where I am, but after a moment, like, I remember everything. And I look around, see if I'm still alone.
You're not. You see Salomea sitting on a stone sarcophagus, looking at you as you wake up.
I look at her, I smile, and say, "Good evening."
Good evening, Janina. I hear there's trouble with Nastia.
Yes.
You really upset her, you know.
Well, she upset me in the past as well, so I guess we're even now.
That is how it goes. I hear you're going to see the voivode.
Yes, I am. My sister is apparently there, and so I hope I can also see her.
Well, if the bishop says so, I'm sure you will. I keep hearing you throw into everyone's faces the unnecessary, pointless killing of people. Is that right? For no reason?
Yes, that's
Have you
how
not killed anyone?
I did, but it was an accident. I didn't just kill someone just for the fun.
But you wanted to kill Zimovit. He told me so.
Yes, but that was different.
How
And
so?
he's not a person. He's not human.
Well, no, he's not. So it's
And
okay to, it's all right to kill one of your kind, but not one of another kind. Is that what you're saying?
yes, because I mean, yes, that's how I see it.
Oh, dear Janina, you have it all backwards. Shouldn't you be true to your own?
But I was a person first, so they were here first.
Well, how do you know that?
I don't know. I just don't think we would be here if it wasn't for the people.
I suppose, but not like there's that much difference between our appearance and their appearance in the world.
No, but they don't have to.
We're both the creatures of God. If you're inclined to care about such things.
Not sure if we are creatures of God.
Well, how else would we come to be?
Well, I don't know. I think can we be more like demons? A curse?
There's some who certainly say that. A curse, a blessing. I think it's a matter of perspective.
Well, you can believe what you believe, but I just don't want to kill people.
Why not?
Because I don't want to cause hurt to their loved ones.
What if they have no loved ones? What if they're all alone? Is it all right then?
I guess it depends on the situation. But
so it's not an absolute rejection.
It's not. Killing someone out of mercy is different than just grabbing someone off the street without any knowledge of their lives, their health, their future.
And yet, they are so often the creatures who suffer. Isn't it always a mercy in a way?
Not to them.
No, but you say sometimes it is. How do you know?
Well, I don't. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that to me it doesn't feel right to kill just for the fun.
Of course it doesn't right now. You're full of notions of morality, and all who are still too cowardly or not ready to face their own nature hide behind them. I don't think you're cowardly. I think you're not ready.
Maybe. Can I see Felicia now?
Yes, she'll come here as soon as she's awake.
Okay, good. So what you're doing around here? when you're not killing people?
Well, what do you do in Camarilla when you don't go around warping people's memories and subjugating the younger Cainites?
I don't think I did that.
No, you were subjugated.
Well, that's possible. I was just slacking around, to be honest.
She laughs at that. That's what I enjoy as well. When I don't have to tend to my duties.
So you have duties?
I do. I've chosen my path, and I am a priest in the Sabbat. My duty is to guide the young ones who need a conversation, a help to understand, a shoulder to cry on, like your friend Nastya.
Yeah. Well, enough about her. Tell me about yourself.
I intrigue you, don't I?
Very.
What do you want to know?
What were you like before?
Before
your embrace?
Oh, I barely remember.
That's sad.
Let's not talk about such boring things.
It's not boring. I'm always interested to see where people came from. But if you don't remember, that's fine.
She kind of shakes her head. Of course I do. It's just not worth the space it takes up in my memory, that's all. I was a model to several painters.
Yeah, I can see that. You're beautiful.
They could see that too. So could the one who brought me into this existence.
Okay, that's nice. I'm sorry, it's too early for me to be asking intellectual questions.
That's all right. I think your guests are approaching. I leave you be and have a conversation.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Likewise. And she leaves. And you hear footsteps also coming down into the crypt. And we'll come back to you. Yeah. You wake up. You cannot move. But you still remember, as you focus on some memories, some of the details are less hazy, more hazy, sorry. Some are more hazy. But you haven't forgotten through the night. Not everything.
Kind of grit my teeth at first. Frustrated. Feeling defeated and angry. Scared. Tired. Tilt my head back and just take in the sounds of the house, I suppose. Extend my hearing to see what it is I can pick up.
There's quite a bit of activity now. You hear people chatting. You think you hear someone in the kitchen cooking something. You hear laughter. You get a faint hint of some groans and screams coming from underneath the house.
Par for the course, really.
And not long after you wake up, you hear footsteps, quite energetic footsteps coming towards the door, which opens. And you see, with the corner of your eye, Arek, who steps in, looking at you. And you see anger on his face as he says, "How could you do this?" Roll your perception and occult.
Two successes.
So you get this flash as he's angry, of this fire feeling him, bursting from him, consuming him.
And I sort of look at him, and there's both like that anger from before, and there's still that sort of compulsion to like distance myself from him in that oddly protective manner. And so I look at him, and what was the phrasing that the woman used on our way over, that I was weakening him, that he shouldn't?
Yes, that you're polluting, that
yeah.
his heart with weakness, I think.
So I just say to him, well, at least this way I won't continue to pollute your heart with weakness.
No, you fucking won't. I thought we were friends again. I held on to the hope.
I thought we were too.
Just as I thought you were. Weak and pathetic. No perception and empathy. Difficulty 6. He's not hiding anything.
Many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes.
Yeah, you see right through him. So you see that he's angry and he's hurt, and he's making himself more angry for being here and talking to you. And he was really grateful, and because of that, he feels more angry and he wants to hurt you. But he's just like acting, lashing out at the moment.
And I kind of want to keep poking that.
Do you want to use your gifts to do that?
Why not? Let's use passion. For the first time ever, we're going to use it in the opposite direction.
Are you sure you want to do this? Because my job is to tempt, but...
Yes.
Okay, go for it. Charisma and empathy. Difficulty is going to be 2.
Yeah. And there's partially this like urge to like keep building that anger so that he has a reason to push me away. And there's like a fear, like understanding like this is probably not going to go well for me. But there's also that self-loathing in there. And I kind of feel like I deserve it.
Go for it then.
So sorry, what my difficulty was 2, you said?
Yes. Everything but ones do their thing.
Okay. Wonderful. I don't think this counts as misdirection somehow. Sorry,
No.
was it manipulation and
Charisma and empathy.
Charisma and empathy. Hidden pain?
Generally, yes, but
Yeah.
I don't think it works
Not for
on the
this.
specific power.
That's
'cause
fair enough. That makes
it's not
sense.
really hidden right now.
Yeah, sure ain't right now. It makes sense. 2, 4, 6. 7 successes.
So he looks at you, and he's just like working himself into more anger. How could you do this? I trusted you. You bitch, you absolute weak, pathetic bitch. And he grabs you and smashes you against the wall. And he's gonna go and just punch you several times in the face. I'm sorry, you did this to him.
Absolutely.
Let's just roll me your stamina.
Sure.
And I'm gonna try to streamline it a bit.
That's fair. I got a 7 and a 9. Whatever that does.
Okay. Got 2. So right. Strength, sorry, another roll for how much damage he actually does. So that's okay. So overall, because it is you are dead, and it is ultimately he's not pulling out his claws. You don't think he doesn't think to. He's like barely coherent.
Yeah.
You will take 4 damage. Between the several blows. I'm just sort of, counting your roll several times and doing the averages.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, and after that, he just looks to you and says, "You're pathetic. And you're gonna suffer for so long." And he leaves and smashes the door shut.
I'm lying there with presumably blood trailing down in my face. I'm disappointed that he didn't go further, that he didn't pull out his claws and just tear into me. And I guess there's this sort of self-deprecating part that just thinks he can't even do that much. I guess he is right.
And you hear from along the corridor him just shouting abuse directed at you, and a voice of Ivan trying to calm him down, just saying, "She will answer for her crime. But it is not to you to do it all. For you to do it all. Come. Let's take your mind off it for a moment. I don't want to take my mind off it. I want to see her suffer. You will." And they move further away.
I'm just kind of lying on the floor, staring at whatever my gaze is directed at. And currently I'm holding on to the memory of Shimon. And I'm trying to not think about Arik, about whatever's going to come next. And I guess I'm thinking about the memory of holding him, trying to rock him while he was crying. And sort of through the blood and swollen face, broken bones, just humming the lullaby that I sang to him.
And you spend some time like that, humming that lullaby. Meanwhile, Janina, you see Felicia coming in, and at her side, you see Bea.
I look at her like, Bea? I think that's like my first.
And she says, Janina, what are you doing here? You shouldn't have come here.
I remember.
Yeah, you would remember mentions that Ivamina would like Bea said that actually to you before she left for Sabbat.
I think I'm trying to decide if this is really Bea when I remember this. I try to see if it's really her.
See Bea for now.
Okay. Can I look at her with all specs?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you can see her aura. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Then roll your perception and empathy, difficulty 8.
2 successes.
2 successes. So you see that she's happy to see you. And you also see that she is a Diablerist.
Okay. Then we're home. But I say nothing. But I think if Ermina looks at me like there, because like I pause for a moment while I'm looking at her aura. And but then I just look at Felicia and oh, hi, Felicia. Missed you.
Janina, dear, I've missed you too, and you should listen to your sister. It's really not a place you should just stroll into. But I know you're welcome, and I'm glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you safe and happy.
Likewise, what have you been up to?
Not much, just usually stuff.
You see, Irmina smiles at that in this way that Bea could smile with a bit of exasperation and a bit of fondness.
I kind of like ignore
Bea. Yeah, usual Janina stuff.
I kind of like ignore.
You ignore her, you look at Felicia.
Yeah, I look at her and like, I just don't pay much attention. And I just keep talking to Felicia. And I'll ask her how she's doing.
I'm quite all right, thank you. This place is taxing in many ways, but, well, it is part of a journey I'm on. I'm sorry to have left so quickly. There were things I needed to check and do. But now I have you both girls here with me, and everything is all right.
I glance at Bea, and I glance back at Felicia, but I don't say anything. But I'm very uncomfortable.
Bea just kind of pats Felicia's hand moving a bit closer to her, smiling at her.
I'm very uncomfortable, but I kind of don't know what to do. But I think I'm just visibly like confused because I don't know how to like act, because I know this is not Bea. But I'm confused that Felicia just buys into all this. And I don't want to upset her and cause another like scene. So I'm not sure. So I think I just start to ask about her journey, and if she can share like some stuff with me that I was curious about.
Of course, my dear, I'm always happy to share my knowledge. So this was quite unexpected to me. Do you remember my friend Estera that
Yes,
I was looking for?
I remember.
So we didn't really get much time together, but when we spoke, she mentioned she discovered things. No, I should start even earlier. You can see I've been more of a student than a teacher recently. Me and Estera, we always wanted to, well, even back in life, instruct others, help others grow, make things better in the world for them in this way. But then we got separated and many things happened. I couldn't believe she would go to the Sabbat. That was unthinkable back when I couldn't see some of the things that she's learned. She told me she's met them during the war and learned of the ancients of her kind who manipulate from far away so much in our society and might one day rise and decide to end us all. I didn't want to believe it at first. It sounded like a lot of nonsense, to be honest.
What would be the purpose of like what's the grand deal here of these ancient creatures?
I'm trying to understand it. I know some of it is just hunger. Beings that all can't really be sated by mortal blood any longer. Some, according to some texts, even back in the day, sought to destroy much of their progeny. I don't have all the answers, but I've been reading some of the texts here in Warsaw, although this city is not really scholarly minded as such, which Bishop freely admits. I've read memories, ancient texts assembled by some others who made the same journey deep into knowledge, and I think, well, I don't know the whole picture. I'm nowhere near knowing the whole picture. But I know this is path I need to pursue, and the bishop was the one willing to help me pursue it.
Well, I'm glad you found your calling.
If you're interested, a bright young Canaanite like yourself, I'm sure, would also be welcome on that path.
Well, I'm intrigued. I'm curious. To be honest, Sabbat isn't what I thought it was. There are some things I'm kind of not comfortable with right now, but I'm very curious, and I'm glad that I was welcomed here like this,
Of
and
course.
that my sister's here, and I give a very fake smile.
She smiles at you, and of course you're welcome. Your family is here.
And I look at Felicia. Can I just borrow my sister for a bit? I just want to talk with her in private for a moment.
Of course, you girls. Catch up, and I'll wait for you upstairs. And she leaves the crypt.
Okay. Well, once she's alone, I just look at fake Bea and I just ask her, why are you doing this? We both know you're not Bea.
But I am.
No.
What are you talking about? You're confused.
I'm not.
Oh, you must be confused by the other one. I know.
I will ask her something. I will ask her something from the past of me and Bea, but I know, but Bea wouldn't remember, so I scrap it. I know Bea wouldn't remember anything. Damn it, Bea.
It's one person. This technique doesn't work for. I don't remember. It must be Bea.
Damn it. Well, then scrap it. I'm not asking that, but I just. I just don't think you're Bea. And I just don't understand what you're getting. Are you not happy with your life that you want to be someone else?
Roll your persuasion and charisma with difficulty 10.
Persuasion and
or actually roll your empathy and charisma.
Okay. In that case, okay, what's the difficulty?
10.
Okay, then difficulty is 10?
10.
Okay, then I have no success. Was I just confused?
In this specific instance, it is 10.
Okay.
There was a chance, but very slim one. So she looks, what are you talking about, Janina? No, I'm Bea. This other one is an imposter.
Yeah, sure.
I'm worried about you.
Yeah.
My mother, don't you think she would know me?
Unfortunately, I think she didn't, because I talk with the real Bea, and I just know you're not her. I just can feel it in my heart.
Your heart can be lying to you, Janina.
Well,
it can lead you astray. That's what they can do. Many people can do that, can play on your emotions to manipulate you.
Well, whatever you're doing, I hope you're happy and you're keeping Felicia happy.
I am. We're happy together. We're reunited. I know she's going to go to Krakow soon.
Are you leaving with her?
I'm not sure. I don't think I can. But well, maybe I'm nervous about it.
Well, you should. If you love her, I guess you should accompany
I'd like to.
Oh my God. I think Yingna's very frustrated and very uncomfortable.
What has been going on with you, Janina? I was worried.
I'm just came to see how you're doing.
I'm glad to have you here. I heard you're going to accompany the bishop today.
Yes, I am.
I hope you'll come back with him and we can spend some time together.
We'll see how it goes. Well, don't keep your mom waiting.
No, I wouldn't want that. But I'll see you later. And her smile is like Bea's smile. Absolutely.
So comfortable. I smile, but it's like okay. I was feeling better about the Sabbat yesterday, but now I'm starting to feel uncomfortable again. There's just too much crazy things happening. And I just let her go, and I wait a bit there alone, trying to gather my thoughts. I still can wrap my head around like what's this kindred is getting of impersonating Bea. Like I don't know. And I wish it was really Bea, because then I would know she's safe and she's with her mother. But I just know this is not her. And I don't know, I'm just sitting there, probably waiting for the bishop to come to ask me to go out. I don't feel like going alone, because I don't want what I would do if I met someone I'm not familiar with. So I'm not risking it.
And you wait there. And after not very long while, Salomea comes down. She doesn't come all the way down. She just gestures for you to come up.
And I get up and follow her.
And you follow her into the church. And you see there, waiting, the bishop, accompanied by Zimovit. Now back again in a jacket made out of dried flesh. And Nastya standing next to the bishop.
I greet everyone.
Nastya gives you a cold stare.
My eyes linger on her for a moment, then I just look back at the bishop.
And the bishop says, I believe we're ready.
Yes.
And leads you out of the church. And you walk a bit through the rubble that hasn't yet been cleared to the area which has been cleared, where there is a car waiting for a driver. Bishop sits at the back with Nastya, and there's a space for you there as well.
Okay.
And Zimovit gets in at the front. And you start driving towards the mansion of Lady Leokadia. And what's on your mind as this is going on?
I thinking about Bea, about Hannah, that if I'm not coming back, that I hope that Roman keeps his promise, takes care of her. And I think about Nastya, and I feel bad for being so cold to her now when she's cold to me as well. But yeah, I just look out of the window with my hands on my knees.
And you see the ruined city. As you're driving past what remains of the buildings of Warsaw. And I think we will end here for tonight. Thank you both very much for playing. And thank you to everyone who's been watching. We're really glad to have you here with us for this episode and the story of Bea and Janina. We hope you will join us again in 2 weeks on the 3rd of December to see what happens next at the mansion of Lady Leokadia. We will be streaming at 6:30 p.m. GMT and hope you will join us again. And until then, keep well and good night.
Good night.
Good night.